I don't know, it sounds kind of cool with the echo. Yeah? Alright. We have today before us the task of ending this criminal, unconstitutional institution that really is the root of so much evil in this country. And we're still in the early phases of this movement of raising awareness and inspiring people. But as the Chinese proverb goes, may you be blessed to live in interesting times. And in these interesting times where we're in two wars, amidst a disastrous policy of American imperialism, the economic turmoil that we're experiencing, we are definitely living in interesting times. And people are starting to wake up. People are starting to make the connections. People are starting to realize that really the Federal Reserve System is at the heart of all of this. And they're starting to connect it to issues that affect their daily lives and things they really care about. Because normally you start talking about economic policy and people's eyes glaze over. Money supply, fiat money, debt-based currency, blank stares, right? But what do we have as a result of the Federal Reserve now that people are starting to see? Endless war, inflation tax, and now corporate bailouts that are unprecedented. Buying of toxic assets. All of these things that people should be outraged about, finally they're connecting to the Federal Reserve. And what we're doing here is starting to build a really broad coalition around this issue. And we saw this around the bailouts. Everybody from the far left to the far right, if you even believe in that false dichotomy that's been imposed on the American political system. But average Americans came out and were outraged. And Congress was flooded with phone calls. 99-1 against the bailouts. And yet still, most of those people haven't yet made the connection that the creation of money out of thin air, that our debt-based currency, that our monetary policy, and all of the banking institutions and corporations that Thomas Jefferson predicted would spring up around them are really the heart of this issue. Now, this is a Federal Reserve note, $1 bill. And when the Federal Reserve was sold to the American people in 1913, it was promised that it would create economic stability and preserve and stabilize the value of the dollar. And yet, since its inception, we have seen this dollar and its purchasing power decline by over 96%. This dollar is worth what 4 cents would have bought in 1913. But it's even worse now, because this is a debt-based currency, previously backed as constitutionally decreed by real property, by silver and gold, and now the only thing that gives this dollar any value is debt. It is absolutely worthless. This is my rejection of the Federal Reserve System. For the record, what I just did is a felony. Because the government wants you to think that they own not just your property and have a right to tax your labor, but the very dollar bills you put in your pocket. But the reality is, I just saved our government $1. There's one less dollar of debt for our government. So, well, one of the things we're asking people to do today, other than stand around in the cold and enjoy a great lineup of speakers, which we're going to be kicking off in a little bit. We're going to get Jordan Page back up here too. But we're going to ask everybody to come up to one of our videographers here, Justin Faith, who came out all the way out from Indiana. This is his first time out of the state, coming all the way to Washington, D.C. He did a lot of great work helping promote this event nationally. YouTube putting videos together. I'm sure a lot of you guys saw that. So if you guys want to come up to him at some point today and make your symbolic rejection of the Federal Reserve System on this most historic occasion, the beginning of the end, please see Justin Faith. I'm going to bring him up and say a few words. So please welcome to the stage Justin Faith.